My name is David Vikander and I am the Financial Aid Director at Southwest Minnesota State University. I think financial aid is a very important part of any college campus. One of the fun things that we get to do is meet with families. I think our job is very rewarding in that we get to meet with families and help them attain what the children's dream is, to come to college, get an education, and hopefully have a better life. And so I really admire the people in our profession. I get to work with 4 of the greatest ladies in the world on helping students come to our campus and get through this financial aid process as easy as possible. The FAFSA is called the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. This is the one application that families will fill out to determine need for any of the federal or Minnesota state financial aid programs. It is so important because of the cost of a college education. Most families could not afford to come to college without having some form of assistance through the federal or state government, and the FAFSA is what starts that process. Everyone is eligible for some forms of financial aid. I always tell families when I go out to do visits that even Donald Trump's kids would be eligible for financial aid. It is based on need, and so they would get no need-based financial aid, but all of the different types of federal or state financial aid are based on some type of need, the income of the family and how many people that supports in the family. There are lots of different types of financial aid. The best kind to get, of course, is the free money. Those would be scholarships that students can get from many different sources. The college itself that the student is looking at will probably be the biggest source of scholarships a student can get to come to college. There are a lot of them that they can apply for through their local high school, local agencies, parents' places of employment will also have scholarships, and then there are also federal and state types of financial aid that a student would apply for through the FAFSA, the federal aid form. Top 3 questions that we probably get are: when can we apply for financial aid, which again, families need to do that as soon after January 1st as they possibly can each year, and they will have to do that every year that their student goes through college. The second question is what kinds of money are out there to help pay. Of course, families don't want to go into debt, so they do want the free kinds of money, the scholarships or the grants. And then probably the third one is when they get done with school. Did I really borrow that much money, is what we hear from a lot of students and families. One thing that we always talk about when students come onto campus along with financial aid is living within a budget. And one of the bits of advice or sayings that I try and give to all students and families is have your student live like a college student while they're in college, so they don't have to live like a college student for the rest of their life. What we mean by that is that students will come to college and they end up borrowing so much loan debt that it has a huge impact on how they can live when they are done with college. It doesn't have to be an intimidating process. Families will hear that from friends or people who have went through it before, but the one thing I always try and get across to families is these are questions about your student. Most of the FAFSA application are demographic questions that are easy about the student. The rest of the form are income questions about the family, which to me is a good family sit down to go through. If you don't know the answers off the top of your head, this is a good exercise to go through and find that information out about your family. So it is a very good process for the family to go through and doesn't have to be an intimidating thing. The other thing to keep in mind with that is there are plenty of places to get help. We will always take calls on FAFSA applications, so if you do have questions going through the process, feel free to give our financial aid at SMSU a call.